Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the Disconnected. This is going to be probably a long video. I am going to be sending this out as a premiere, but I am not going to be doing this live, so I'm not going to be able to, put comments on the screen and answer those. But I am going to be in the comments answering your questions as we do this. This entire video is going to be based on the vast amount of sales that we have going on right now. We're going to be doing 88 films, Unearthed Films, Warner Archive, Indicator, the Vinegar Syndrome Flash pre-order, and then of course the massive Kino Lorber Black. We're going to be doing the massive Kino Lorber sale that has more than 800 titles available right now. So let's get right into it, huh? So this is the 88 film site, and let me put the proper banner up there for you. This is the sale they have going on. It is the 10th anniversary sale until the 28th of March, so just until Monday. If you enter Happy 10 at checkout, you get 25% off of the posted prices. Now, some of these are pretty decent. So if we just go look in Blu-ray, first of all, they still have a lot of stuff that are, deluxe editions. Like Armor of God is still in stock, and this is 25 pounds. So 25% off. You get this for what, 18 pounds 75? That's not bad. And they have a lot of the standard editions of their Jackie Chan titles in. And when you're talking about 25% off, you're taking almost 4 pounds off of these. That is a really good rate. Even Crime Story here is 13 pounds, and you're taking what, four and a quarter off of there. I mean, that's less than 9 pounds just for Crime Story with Jackie Chan. And they have a really, really good catalog. But if you're wanting some of the newer ones, clicking on new releases here, these will show you a lot of the collector's editions, deluxe things that are still in stock. Night of the Demon is currently out of stock, but they still have Black Cat. My friend Asian Movie Enthusiast, he did a good review of that one just recently. Go watch that on his channel. They still have Monkey Kung Fu, Monkey Kung Fu and Shaolin Mantis, and all kinds of these other big titles. Delirium had just recently came out. Galaxy of Terror still available. Highly recommend a lot of these. And then that Anaconda box set that recently got a new release, that is on here for only 25 pounds, and you are taking a quarter off of that. I mean, that's pretty damn great. They still have the deluxe of Hatchet for the Honeymoon. They have Robotrix. They have the One Steelbook. Don't really recommend that one, but it's there if you want it. The Jackie Chan Dragons Forever, that is even cheaper than the one, and that is going to be on sale on top of that. These are some pretty good rates overall. The Tough Ones is a really good release if you don't have the Grindhouse releasing one. And these are just listed as what's under new. If you go click on Blu-rays, you can click on one of their very specific collections, like Slasher Classics, and they have some really great titles in here that are either unavailable in the US or much cheaper than you can get them for in the US. For example, they've got, let's see, I think it's on the next page here. Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. I can't remember if those are region locked or not, but those are out of print in the US. So if you buy them here, it's 13 pounds, and then take 25% off of that with this code. You are saving a ton of money, because one of these in the US goes for literally like 80 plus on eBay all day. It is not worth it to shell that out when you can get one of these for basically pennies. And they're good releases, so there's nothing to worry about there. So that was 88 films. Now let's go into one that not a lot of people talk about, and that's at Cinema Classics. We're going to talk about the Unearthed Films sale. Now, to get the actual lowdown on this sale, it is 50% off March 18th through April 4th at Cinema Classics. And you can see the banner at the top here. Free shipping on U.S. orders over $60. And that's easy to do when you're getting some of these sale titles. Let's put this by newest titles. And some of these brand new titles are not going to be very on sale. Like 2LDK just came out on Blu-ray, not on sale at all. But Star Vehicle from Ryan Nicholson, that came out fairly recently, and that one's on sale, Blu-ray for $15. And there's no promo code or anything like that to worry about here. Premutos just came out recently. This is the DVD, but there is a Blu-ray version down here. Let's see where those Blu-rays start so we can get some Blu-ray prices. Here we go. So Premutos on Blu-ray that one is a little too new to be on sale too. So that one's $29. Evil Dead Trap, though, highly recommended. That one's only $15 on Blu-ray. Hanger Blu-rays, $20. Serbian Film, if you don't have that yet and you're open to some of the more depraved titles, $17.50 on Blu-ray. That's pretty good. Olaf Ittenbach's No Reason, $15 on Blu. The Unearthed Classics line with things like Evil Dead Trap and Premutos, they've been really great so far. And some of the older ones that are on here are still coming with slips. They did say that they have slips for a lot of these, but I mean, $12.50 for some of the Unearthed, the ones that they've had for a long time that people just maybe overlooked. They have a Record of Sweet Murder. That one's only $13 on Blu-ray. Famine for $14. These are some really good titles overall, and they've sold out of a couple, but it's a decent sale. And Cinema Classics gets overlooked. They do some really good work. I really recommend that you check out Cinema Classics. And the next one we're going to look at is the Warner Archive sale, and this one is it's a little odd. So Warner Archive, obviously they're owned by Warner Brothers, and they used to be on I think it was the Warner Shop is what it was called. And they would have sales on their site all the time. And they would be priced at 4 single disc Blu-ray releases for $44, $11 a piece. That's a good price. So now, this sale, the way that they are labeling it, this sale is only Blu-ray titles for items that are single disc Blu-rays. And they're looking at the ones that are under, I believe it was $21.99. So any of these that you are seeing on this screen, these are all at $19.49, so they're all included. This one that is $21.44, and this one, these go a little bit higher, but those are also included as long as they are single disc Blu-rays. Now, the way that you are going to get your sale price on this, there's a promo code, and this is way more convoluted than it needs to be. So the promo code for this is the word archive with the A capitalized, then the number 13, and then an exclamation point. Capital A archive, 13 exclamation point. On this one, it is now 4 titles for $49, and additional titles are $12.25 each. And again, this is where it gets a little convoluted. Shipping on this, $2.99 for your first title and 99 cents for every additional title. So if you buy 12 titles, you're looking at $14 shipping. That to me doesn't make it super worth it. But one of the big things that might make it a little better, there's no sales tax unless you live in the state of Illinois, because that's where this Movie Zing is located. So looking through these, I do have quite a few that I would recommend. We have A Star is Born, as long as this is included, which it absolutely should be. I personally am trying to get all of the releases of that story that they've done, and I don't have that one yet, so I might look into that. Death Trap is one that I would highly recommend. Very good movie. Moving on down here, obviously I'm going to say The Hudsucker Proxy. If you've never seen it, completely recommend that one. That is a Coen Brothers film. Really good here. Here is another A Star is Born. This one's with Judy Garland and James Mason. Angels with Dirty Faces. I believe this one's included. As long as it's a single disc, that one should be there. And that's a pretty new film. Another Thin Man for $21 here. This one should be included. Bad Ronald, one of my favorite Warner Archive titles. It's an old TV movie, basically about a guy that lives like in the walls of a house. And it's good. It's kind of creepy. It's not. It's obviously a little tame because it was a TV film, but it's good. One thing I will say about this, as I look through some more to try to find some more recommendations, Big Wednesday, obviously, that's a pretty new and decent title. I would suggest that if you were going to be looking at the Warner Archive titles, you compare to Amazon, especially for the ones released in the last 2 years, because some of them have been being priced. There was one that was priced, I think, at $8, moving up to about $12. So a lot of these you will find for cheaper on Amazon if you're really dying to have those. And obviously, you shouldn't buy it on here for 12. What was it? 12.25 plus $1 shipping. I mean, that's ridiculous. So yeah, if you're wanting to save, I don't really love Amazon, especially if you watched the stream with Mike last night. You heard us both just completely rail on Amazon. I don't love them, don't love supporting them, but I completely get it if you're trying to save every single penny. Body Snatchers. This is a very decent one. The original Children of the Damned is here and available. Cleopatra Jones. That's a classic. Let's see. I don't believe The Curse of Frankenstein is a part of the sale because it's a 2-disc set. If it is, that is a great, great release. Demon Seed, this is a very good one. They have Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder in 3D. Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox, that's a fun one. Dolores Claiborne, another one of my absolute favorite Warner Archive titles. And actually, there's a couple right in a row right here that are going to be some of my favorites. Dolores Claiborne is amazing. The original Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is pretty good. Dracula AD 72 is a great release. But two more of my favorites. Drop Dead Gorgeous, nearly a perfect film. It is so damn good. And then Drunken Master 2, this is a really good release of it. One of the ones that has not been super cheap. I think the cheapest I've seen this one go on Amazon is like $13.50 or $14. So if you can get that one and you're interested, get it. It's Jackie Chan. It's good stuff. Moving down here, Gaslight is a massive title. This is one that is foundational for a lot of cinema. Gold Diggers of 1933. I have not seen this one, but this is a newer title that everybody is raving about. I am considering getting this one. If you've watched the streams a lot, I'm trying to get into some of the older cinema like that, and I hear that's a great release. Horror of Dracula. That's one that I heartily recommend. I Confess is a Hitchcock title. If you're trying to collect all Hitchcock, it's not one of the top tier Hitchcocks, but it's good. Let's see. Boris Karloff, Isle of the Dead. I don't think I have that one. That's the one I'm going to be looking at as well. And then Judgment Night. This is my next big recommendation. This is a great film with Emilio Estevez. God, what year did that come out? I think it was early 90s. It's a good one. A sort of little thriller. Joe versus the Volcano. Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. Obviously, great movie. Both of them in it. They do so well together. And then if you don't have it, Leatherface, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Warner Archive is the best release of that. And obviously, me being a big fan of horror, I would heartily recommend that. Moving down, next one I'd probably recommend is The Man with Two Brains. I love me some Steve Martin. This is a good release. More Jackie Chan. They have Mr. Nice Guy here. And then The Mystery of the Wax Museum. I think this was a single disc release. And if it is, that one is a really good release. It came out just a few years ago. Really well done. Night Moves with Gene Hackman. Great, great title. Same with Night School. That's a very good one that a lot of people really should see that haven't. Night Shift. This is a fairly recent release. I would, again, compare prices, but if it is cheapest here and you want it, great, great title. Go for that. One Crazy Summer. This is one that had been hard to see for a long time. So I'm glad they've released this. Really, really fun movie. I highly suggest One Crazy Summer if you haven't seen it yet. Most I love me some animation. I've got all of the Popeye series that they did. They're great, just period. On this next row, Prince of the City and Pump Up the Volume. Again, two very new titles. And if they are cheapest here, they are ones that you should have part of your Warner Archive collection. Both great releases. I remember for a long time thinking we'd never get Pump Up the Volume. So glad we did. Next one that I'd go with is Quick Change. Big names in this, obviously, Bill Murray, Gina Davis, and then all-star comedian actor Randy Quaid. Next one, I would go for 1-2 punch here of the Satanic Rites of Dracula and Selena. Both great movies. Obviously, Selena was a very important film in the 90s for Jennifer Lopez. Really put her really put her acting career out there. Let's see. Shaft in Africa. That is not going to be on the Criterion release. Highly suggest that one. Shadow of a Thin Man. That is one of the sequels to the Thin Man series. Good stuff. Stage Fright. That is a newer release from Hitchcock. Song of the Thin Man. Again, another Thin Man title. Starsky and Hutch. Really underrated modern comedy. Really funny movie. Snoop Dogg's in it. Ben Stiller. Owen Wilson. Good stuff. Dustin Hoffman in Straight Time. That's a really new release. This is one, definitely suggest checking the prices because that might be cheaper elsewhere. And then I think we are nearing the end of the Warner Archive here. A lot of these are not going to be included because they're not single disc releases. Once again, the animation, I love it. And these Tex Avery Screwball Classics are great releases. Just winners. I'm so glad that they put those out. Let's see. Oh, man, they need to learn how to alphabetize on these. The Fearless Vampire Killers. I remember liking that one. The Gumball Rally, another classic. The Hidden. I'm remembering... Let's see. I'm remembering this cover. I feel like I've seen this one. I'd look at The Hidden. For some reason, I can't place it, but I feel like I remember seeing it and liking it. Thin Man Goes Home. Obviously, a newer title and part of the Thin Man series. Thin Man is hilarious. The Thing from Another World. This is the original version of the story told by John Carpenter's The Thing, and it's decent. It's not an amazing movie. I can see why Carpenter wanted to remake it. The Witches, great release of this film. Showed my kids this movie last year. Loved it. If you are a fan of 90s romantic comedies like I can be, Tin Cup is decent. For some reason, I was a big Kevin Costner fan in the 90s. Don't really know why. He's not great. But yeah, Tin Cup is fun. The original Village of the Damned is here. Definitely worth it if you don't have it. Let's see what else we got. I don't think any of the rest of these are included, so we're going to call that a day on Warner Archive. There are just so many sales right now. We're like halfway through going through these, and it's a lot to get through. But the next one, obviously a big one. We have been waiting a long time. I think since I want to say October was the last Indicator sale. So let's get into the Indicator sale. This sale is lasting until Monday, April 1st, UK time. And the only items on sale are the ones linked in the sale portion of their website. Now, if you live in the US, like I do, free tracked international shipping is over £200, which is a lot of money. That's a lot. If you're in the UK, free shipping is over £50, which is decent and completely get that. But there is some good prices in here, which means if you're going to be looking at titles, like one I would suggest is 13 Ghosts, that's only £7. So for you to be able to get free shipping, if all of the titles you were going for were £7, you're looking at, gosh, quick math, 27, 20. You'd have to get 29 titles before you would qualify for free shipping. So you got to really look at these. I believe all of these that are not box sets, the single titles are either £6.99 or £9.99. And the difference there is between the limited edition and the standard edition. So right here on this top line, not only can you tell by the prices, but these first three are standard editions because of the way the case looks, how it's got the Blu-ray logo at the top. And this one at the end is still a limited edition because it has the rainbow going all the way across the top. It's got the higher artwork on the inside, and that's how they show the difference between the limited edition and the standard. All of the limited edition titles have a booklet inside of them. The standards do not. Indicator. There are a lot of these titles that have been released by Kino Lorber or Mill Creek or some others here in the U.S., but that does not mean that you should go with those necessarily if you're in the US. Indicator does some incredible work. Now, on a lot of this, I could just go into absolute detail. I'm going to share a little bit. I don't want to go too far into it, but let's do it. So like I said, 13 Ghosts, great classic. A Soldier Story. This is, I believe, an older Denzel film. Am I getting this one confused? 1999. I'm not even seeing it here. All right. I may have just embarrassed myself. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of another. We're going to get to that one, I believe. I think it's in the sale still. Absolution. I remember liking that one. Birdie. I like this movie so much. I've bought it 3 times because I forgot that I had bought it once, and then I won it in a raffle. So I had 3 copies. I've had to get rid of. I've gotten rid of one. I think I still have one. Black Joy. Definitely one I suggest. Great film. Bloody New Year. This one is a really decent, nice little thriller. Highly suggested. Blue Collar. Look at the cast. Richard Pryor, Harvey Keitel, Yaphet Kotto. One of the classics for sure. Body Double. If you don't have Body Double or you've never seen it, it's a De Palma film. It's a necessity. Bronson's Breakout. I've never seen it, but a lot of people love it. I'm not a big Bronson person. I think we've talked about that recently. Bunny Lake is Missing. This one is surprisingly great. Charlie Varick, Walter Matthau. Love Walter Matthau as an actor. Christine, John Carpenter's Christine. If you don't have the 4K that's out in the US, this is a really good release of it. Cisco Pike, this is a great one. Got Gene Hackman, Karen Black in it. Gotta love Karen Black. The Columbia Noir sets. These are £30. Not a bad price at all for any of them. They generally have, I believe, 6 films in each one, £5 a piece. That's great. And the Indicator box sets, they go above and beyond in every aspect. Tons of special features. Got a nice book. Good restorations. They are all worth it. Corruption. If you do not have the Grindhouse releasing edition of this is the best one by far, and it is like one of the hard boxes. Got I believe it has a book and everything else with it. Great release, good movie. This is the one I was thinking of for Denzel. Devil in a Blue Dress. This one is an absolute, you have to have it. Really great overlooked Denzel film. Crime Wave, that's from Sam Raimi. If you don't have it, it's good. I won't say it's one of his best, but it's definitely good. Experiment in Terror, that is a good one. Eyes of Lower Mars. This is Tommy Lee Jones, Faye Dunaway, and it was written by John Carpenter. Highly suggest that one. Let me see. Ghost of Mars, another Carpenter film if you don't have the Scream Factory release. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Rest in peace, Sidney Poitier recently. Really good movie. I say that very lightly. It is a classic, absolutely. The Hammer box sets, just like the Noir box sets, incredible prices on these. They are magnificent. If you don't have them and you are into Hammer horror or the other types of Hammer films, because Obviously, one of these is more horror centric than the other. By all means, this is pretty much the best releases of Hammer films we'll probably ever get. Happy Birthday to Me and Hardcore, most people know about, so I will not spend a lot of time there. I Monster, good one with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing in the same film, but one I want to highlight here that a lot of people are not talking about, Immaculate Conception with Melissa Leo. This one is a lot more worth it than it gets credit for. The synopsis here. A Western couple working in Pakistan visit an unconventional holy shrine to harness its spiritual powers to help them conceive a child. They are lavished with the attention of the shrine's leader and her followers, but their methods and motives are not all that they seem, and the couple's lives are plunged into darkness. You need to see that movie if you haven't seen it. It's a great one. And Seminoid, this is from Norman J. Warren. Good movie. Invincible, this is a Werner Herzog film with Tim Roth. Love the cover on this. Really good movie. This was his first dramatic film in a decade. Irreversible, I've talked about this on the channel quite a lot. 13 pounds for a very harrowing Gaspar Noé film that is just amazing. It was branded as hard to watch, and I'm not saying it's not, but there are two scenes. One of them is a little bit of brutal violence that's very realistic, and then an extended sexual assault scene that's made to make you feel uncomfortable, and it's successful. It is a good film, and I would think most people should probably see it at least once. Going through here, Jagged Edge with, I love Glenn Close. Really, really worth it. John Ford at Columbia. Again, their box sets are worth every penny. Willem Dafoe, really early film from him. Light Sleeper with Susan Sarandon. Definitely worth that. Moscow on the Hudson. Kind of an odd piece for Robin Williams. This is a good one. And the limited edition is still in stock. Night of the Demon and Night Tide, both classic releases from Indicator. If you haven't seen them, highly recommend them. Let me see. The Scum limited edition is only 10 pounds, which is crazy. More people need to see that one. That is a really good film. Someone to Watch Over Me. This is let me see, a Ridley Scott film with Tom Berenger, Mimi Rogers. Really good overall. I think Scream Factory put this out. Maybe it was Shout Factory. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a good one. Highly recommended. And then let's go for some more here. We got some some more Norman J. Warren films, another Christopher Lee film. Let's see. This one. Oh, this was a Hammer title. That was in one of their Hammer box sets. The Beast Must Die. That's a pretty classic one that's gotten a lot of attention recently. Certainly recommend you checking out that one if you haven't. The China Syndrome with Jane Fonda and Michael Douglas and Jack Lemmon. This is one of the better releases from Indicator. It's got a lot of stuff on it. And moving on, we got a Woody Allen film, The Front. If you have never gotten into classic Jack Nicholson, The Last Detail is a really good start. And he is an incredible, incredible actor. But then also, they've got the limited edition of The Fortune right here with Jack Nicholson and Warren Beatty. It's only 10 pounds. Certainly worth it. The Last Movie. This was one of the big Indicator hardbox limited edition titles. It's one that deserved that. It's a Dennis Hopper film. On this page, though, there are quite a few that I like here. The Missionary. I've always been a Monty Python fan, and this has Michael Palin in it. And just listen to this. Monty Python alumnus Michael Palin writes and stars in this ribald comedy of sex and sensibility. Timid Reverend Charles Fortescue returns to London in 1906 after 10 years of service in Africa to start a mission to save the fallen women of Soho. But his dedication to tending to the needs of those in his care soon meets with the disapproval of the church and his patron. It is good, and it's definitely overlooked. Moving on, another good one with Jack Nicholson, The Passenger. I believe this has a U.S. release too, so make sure you just choose the one that you want. The People Next Door. I've not gotten to see this one yet, but this is one that's gotten a lot of praise. It is, let's see, it says it's an unflinching portrayal of a New York family torn asunder by drug abuse. It's supposed to be good. Looks a little surreal. The Pillow Book here is another one that I've not gotten to yet, but is supposedly incredible. And I mean, it's got Ewan McGregor in it, and I mean the cover on that is just great, certainly striking. Moving on down, Charles Bronson and the Valdez Horses again. I don't love Bronson, but you got that, and you got the Valachi papers if you want them. And the last page in the sale, I think this is a Gary Oldman film. Yeah, Gary Oldman and Christopher Lloyd. Track 29 is pretty good. Teresa Russell's also in this. It's a Nicholas Roeg film. And let's see, freely adapted. Never mind. Watermelon Man. This is a great title. Really, really well made. If you don't have the Criterion release of that yet, Vampires. Carpenter, not an amazing movie, but it's there if you need it. Winter Kills. This is a big one for me. Gotta love this. This is based on a novel by Richard Condon, William Reichardt's brilliantly off-kilter conspiracy thriller with Jeff Bridges, John Huston, Elizabeth Taylor, Thomas Million, and many other famous faces. This dark vision of political corruption is presented in 2 cuts from a new 4K restoration. This is a great movie. Wolf with Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. Really overlooked film. This is, God, what year was this? 94. It was decent for when it came out. And then the William Castle at Columbia Volume 2 set. Highly recommend that one. Again, their box sets, you cannot go wrong with Indicator box sets. They are made so beautifully. They've got that really nice book. Solid films, good restorations. They're great. 2 more left here. I wanted to cover, since we talked about the Vinegar Syndrome pre-sale before it happened, I wanted to go in a little bit of detail now that it's here. First off, this is the Vinegar Syndrome website right now. You are able to go in this weekend. You can see here, this ends Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. This is the current slate. You are ordering these for the sale in May. So none of these titles, anything on this top row here, none of these would be shipping to you in the next month or anything like that. If you order these right now, you probably would not be getting them until the end of May at the earliest, or at early June is probably more like it. So the titles that we're getting, one by one here, we are getting Thriller, A Cruel Picture in 4K. I'm going to go through some of the shots from this, but not too many because there is some nudity. And it looks like a great restoration, and it's this is one that I would say is a classic film, and if you like exploitation, you have to have this. This is a 4-disc set, and it's coming in a limited edition slip box and dual slip cover, just like Flesh for Frankenstein did, and it has tons of features. Now, one thing missing, this doesn't have a commentary listed, which I was kind of surprised by. However, there is, let's see where it is. Additional extras to be determined. So there could be something that is added later. That is a commentary, perhaps. And that is a part of this big Everything Flash pre-order bundle. Next thing, Cloak and Dagger VSU. This is $40 right now. This is going to be just like the Beastmaster set, that big magnetic box with the slip inside and the book and everything. A lot of people are really upset with this art, and I don't understand it. It's not amazing, but when you think about what it is, this is kind of emulating the side of an arcade cabinet, and it's beautiful. It's really well done when you think about it in that context. And this is the type of film you can buy from Vinegar Syndrome and watch with your kids. This is going to be another rad type of release where it sells very well for them. Got some good faces in here. This is a very young Henry Thomas, and it is looking to be great. This is a huge title for Vinegar Syndrome to get, in my opinion. Another one that is loaded to the gills with special features. And the biggest thing here, let's take a look at this. Konami Codes and Cult Classics Programming Cloak and Dagger, a brand new extended making of documentary featuring interviews with the cast and crew exclusive to this VSU release. There's also a commentary with Tom Holland, moderated by Joe Lynch, that's going to be exclusive to this release. And then it has a 40-page perfect bound book featuring an interview with Tom Holland and an essay by Vinegar Syndrome's own Justin LaLiberty. Great release. Very happy that we have this coming. I also called this one, so I'm glad that we're getting it. Miami Connection in 4K. First off, I'm shocked. This had been announced. I believe it was announced that the original elements for this were ruined in Hurricane Sandy. And I had somebody mention that they'd hoped that this was coming in 4K, and I just shot it down. I said, it can't. We have the elements ruined. It's never going to be coming out. And yet here it is. This is the front of the slip, and this is the back. And the cool thing about the restoration and all that is this is the one that they alluded to, that they just recently found this. So you can see right here, Miami Connection finally comes to UHD from Vinegar Syndrome, exclusively restored in 4K from recently unearthed negative materials and loaded with plentiful archival and newly shot extras. This edition also includes the world home video debut of its long-lost pre-release version, Escape from Miami, which features numerous additional and extended scenes, as well as a completely different ending. So this is coming in 4K and Blu-ray. It is a 2-disc set and has, again, all kinds of special features on here, including, just like on Cloak and Dagger, one of my favorite types of extras that Vinegar Syndrome does, a brand new extensive and exclusive making-of documentary featuring all new interviews with cast and crew members, some of which have never been interviewed before, which is incredible. So these are all a part of this Everything Flash pre-order bundle, which if you order this right now, like I said in my video earlier this week, you will be shipped right after the subscribers are shipped. Now, if you're a subscriber, you don't need to order this bundle. The only thing that you need to order if you're trying to get all of them or you're really into it is the VSU. This one will not be included with your sub package, and you do have a discount on it. You will get it at half off. So this is $62.98. You'll get it for $31.49. And the bundle also includes Horror High, and that is a double feature with Stanley. And coming down here, the cool thing about Horror High and Stanley, they said here, to celebrate our 10th year, we've revived our much-loved drive-in collection, updating it from DVD to Blu and presenting the world Blu-ray debuts of two quintessential films from the heyday of outdoor cinemas, Larry N. Stouffer's Horror High and William Greffe's Stanley. Not only are both sourced from stunning new 2K restorations, we are pleased to confirm that our edition of Horror High represents the world home video debut of its fully uncut and extra gory original version, with numerous instances of long censored carnage now fully intact. That's awesome. And then, as you can see in this picture, that bundle also has two mystery titles here that we don't have pictures of. And those we got some hints for. And it says, what about the two secret titles? One marks the worldwide Blu-ray debut of a long out of legal circulation, gory, early 80s monster flick, which we've painstakingly restored from its original 16mm negative, and the other is a way out staple of mid-80s cable TV and midnight movie marathons, which joins the ranks of our other WTF milestones and has also been freshly and exclusively restored from long-lost negatives. So that's great. I have a guess for one of these titles, but let's look at the other way that they've sort of hinted at these. So they say, we always try to save the weirdest, wildest, rarest, and or most head-spinning flicks for the secret titles. So as always, we've prepared a doozy. First up, making its worldwide Blu-ray debut, where? Let's see. There it is. Okay. Blu-ray debut from a stunning new 4K restoration of the original negative is a grim, grimy, and gruesome indie monster movie featuring a very peeved creature stalking sunny SoCal. This one took a ton of wrangling to get right, and we couldn't be happier to give it new life. So my guess for this, we got Creature from William Malone last year. I think that one is going to be scared to death from William Malone, but we're not going to find out till May. And the second one here, plus, if you're starved for a helping of only in the 80s insanity, you'll no doubt fall head over heels for this star-studded oddity with a typically off-the-wall premise that's been causing Jaws to drop for nearly 40 years. Now, this one, I'm stumped on. I don't even know what to guess for that one. I love the way they write their clues. The last couple of years, they've been a little easier to guess on some of them, but I'm glad that we're getting them. And they're good titles. Their mystery titles are always pretty dang good. So that's Vinegar Syndrome. If you're buying that bundle, you'll get it cheaper now than if you wait till May. But at the same time, there's no real rush. None of those things are going out of print. None of those are going to be something that if you don't buy it this weekend, you're not going to be able to get. I would even venture to guess that pretty much all of those, except for maybe the VSU release of Cloak and Dagger, should be available all the way to the Black Friday sale in November, and you could probably get them on sale then if you want to wait. However, it's going to be a great year, and there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. Not to induce FOMO in you or anything like that, but if you're really into them, this would be a great time to pick it up. Plus, you get earlier shipping, and don't forget, buying now where you can get the free shipping threshold is the only way to lock in free shipping for the halfway to Black Friday sale. If you do that now, you can add everything on the weekend of the sale to your existing sale order, because buying this gives you an existing sale order. It's totally worth it. All right, last one to get into. Let's talk about Kino Lorber. There are, I think, like 24 pages of titles here, more than 800. I simply can't go into detail on a lot of these since this is already over 40 minutes long, but I'm going to go crash course, dive into as many as I can. So new release of 12 Angry Men. I haven't even gotten mine in yet, but this is directed by William Friedkin and it's supposed to be pretty decent. It's under $10. That seems like a must buy to me. Going down, Antichrist is back in stock, it looks like. This was out of stock yesterday. I've not watched mine yet, but it's gotten some pretty great reviews. I definitely need to watch mine soon. From Cohen Media, I actually really suggest The Awakening. I think it's a great release. Let's see. Bad Manners is a fun one. This is a Scorpion releasing title, and it's only $7.99. Really hard to argue with that one. Baxter, I've talked about this one before. I don't know why. This is one I loved growing up, and I highly recommend it to everybody. This is another Scorpion title. Let's see. Black Moon Rising. We just talked about this. I think we just talked about this at the Indicator sale. This is the Kino release. Again, on sale. Really great price. Boris Karloff and Black Sabbath. If you don't have this, this is pretty much a must-own. Blackmail from Hitchcock, $9.49. I don't believe this one ever goes cheaper than that. Highly worth it for that one. Moving on. I'd never heard of this until this sale. If anybody watched this show called Border Town, let me know what you think. I'm curious about these titles. Or they've, I believe, 3 seasons here. $14 a piece. Is Border Town good? I've never seen it. With what I do for a living, I love the title, and I'm certainly perplexed by it, and it sounds good. Let's see. If you're into Burt Reynolds, Breaking In is a good title. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, the complete collection, for $35 is pretty great. I think it was on sale last year for $29, something like that, $30 something. It's probably not going to go on sale any cheaper, and if it does, it won't be until like October. Then they also have Buck Rogers in the 21st Century, the movie, and it's only $8. Both together is a really good package, and that's $43. So you're already $7 away from free shipping there. Busting, this is one that has Elliot Gould. Highly recommend. Really, really good fun film. Let's see. Cabin Boy. I I don't know why. I love Chris Elliott. I think Cabin Boy is severely underrated. Again, I love 90s comedies. I think it's a good film. I hesitate to recommend this, but Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker is kind of a horror classic. It's a weird movie, but 12.50, it's probably worth it. Good time. John Saxon and Cannibal Apocalypse. This one seems to never get below about $10. So if you want it, it's a good time to get it. The Card Player. This is an Argento film for $10 with a slip. It's a good release. I believe it's a Scorpion release. It's not bad. CB4 though, this is a great film and fairly new at $10. Absolutely worth it. Highly suggest that one. Let's see. Again, not a Bronson person, but they have Chato's Land with slip for $10. That's pretty damn good if you're into it. Clay Pigeons. This is a fun film. Vince Vaughn, River Phoenix, Janine Garofalo. This when did this come out? Was it late 90s or something like that? Yeah, that's a good one. Been a long time since I watched that one. Obviously, if you don't have the complete Metropolis, always can recommend that one. Conquest. This is a Fulci film, and it's under $10. I believe for the first time. It might have been $9.99 during that October sale, but it is a. If you're wanting to collect Fulci, it's a decent one to have. It's nowhere near his best, but it's decent. Let's see here. Daughter of Dracula, the Redemption films, they don't ever really go below about $10 unless it's for one of the really unpopular ones. But this is a Jess Franco title. So if you're into Franco, if you're a Francophile, check it out. Deep Star 6 somehow still has the slip, and it's a fun underwater movie. $10.99, really good price for that. Diabolical Dr. Z. So this is a Jess Franco film that I actually heartily recommend to pretty much everybody. It's one of his better ones. Another Redemption Blue here for $10. This one is Devil's Kiss. And then here's one that's $9, Die Screaming Marianne. Redemption, I don't think they put anything out in a while, but they've got quite a few titles that are in most of these sales. Coming up next, I'm curious in Double Walkers. Anybody watch this yet? I know that's a fairly new film. Dr. Orloff's Monster. This is okay. It's not as good as the awful Dr. Orloff, but it's still one of his better titles, like one of his more accessible titles as well. And that's Jess Franco, by the way. We know that we know that Severin is doing an Emmanuel box set eventually, but they will most likely not be including these three titles. And if you're into them, I don't think they've been cheaper than this. This is Emmanuel for $10, Emmanuel 2 for $9, and Goodbye Emmanuel, the third film, for $10. They're all absolutely worth it. And they've got Sylvia Christel, I think, in all of them. Yep. FX and FX2 just recently released. It's a Richard Franklin FX, and it's good. It's from 86 and 91. Good double feature. $12. Fairly worth it, in my opinion. Let's see. The film noir boxes, if you're collecting those, they have this listed in the sale. This is the same price that it was just a week ago. So I don't think that that's like a must buy right now, but that is a brand new release. So that's why it's still up there. Let's see. Final Option. This is a fairly new release as well, and it's still $10, and not still, and it's all the way down to $10, and still comes with a slip. Film Worker. This is a highly lauded documentary about the crew member for Stanley Kubrick, and yeah, that's one heartily recommend. I need to stop taking my sweet time to go through these. Gambit with Michael Caine. Good movie, $10 with a slip. Can't really argue there. Get Crazy. This is one that I'm honestly shocked that we got this release. This movie was hard to find for a long time. $10 with a slip. If you don't have it, get Crazy. You probably should get that. Okay, severely underrated. A girl walks home alone at night. Very, very stylized modern vampire film, and it's not really a horror movie. It's kind of like an art house horror film, and it's just so well made. Highly suggest it. That's one of my favorites by a long shot. Like out of this entire sale, if you're hearing about one for the first time and you want it recommended, I suggest that one. Golden Needles. I like Joe Don Baker. I've still not seen this, but it's got a slip and it's $10. I personally, I'm into films like this, so I need to get that and watch it. My co-host on my other show, Discovering Cinema, Flip, has raved about Gamora. So if you're into it, they have the first 4 seasons here. They are releasing the film and the 5th season here in the next, I think, 2 months. So yeah, be a good time. The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin, great movie. Very similar to like Mikey from MVD Rewind. Good movie. The Great Escape in 4K. This just recently came out. $16. Highly recommend it. That is one of their good 4K titles. And yeah, speaking of good 4K, I would suggest not buying this Blu-ray of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and just get the 4K for sure. There are so many. Modern comedy classic. Completely think everybody should have Half Baked. Love that movie. The very first Kino Lorber 4K title, Hannibal, is here for $12.50. Great price, great release, and it looks really good. The newer release of Hard Target. This does have the replacement discs that are in the new version, directed by Jean Woo, Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's a good price. I mean, it's literally a brand new release in stock, ready to go. Haunted Honeymoon. This one is not top tier Gene Wilder or Gilda Radner, but it's good. It's fun. I love Gene Wilder. Period. Heartbeeps is a surprisingly like wholesome 80s comedy. It's good. Heartbeeps is fun. The Hills Run Red, another one my friend Flip has talked about. I still need to see it, but it's supposed to be great. The British International Pictures collection of Hitchcock. This is the cheapest I've seen it. It's down to $20. That's a great price, especially if you're trying to. A lot of people are trying to get all of the Hitchcock films that have been released on Blu. That's a good one to get. Hollywoodland, genuinely great movie. You got Adrian Brody, Ben Affleck. It's a great film, really well made. Highly suggest that one. The House of the Long Shadows, if you haven't seen it, it's done by Pete Walker. Another great title. Moving on. Let me see. I think that's all that jumps out on me there. The 4K of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is high to me. $24 is pretty dang high still. The 4K does look great, but I think you can probably find a better price elsewhere. Jungle Fever. This one is from Spike Lee. I tend to really like Spike Lee, even ones that people hate. If you're into Spike Lee, it's a great price. I don't think it's been cheaper on here. Just Before Dawn. One of my favorite like unconventional slashers ever. It is really well made. It is genuinely creepy. It's got a nice twist, and the big thing, it was, it's really well made and doesn't have a sequel. That's pretty rare in the horror genre. I highly suggest that one, and it's $12. I believe that's a Code Red release. I don't love Code Red, but I love that movie, so I still suggest it. Another Hitchcock, Lifeboat, $10. I don't believe it's been cheaper. Go for it if you're into it. Life with Mikey with Michael J. Fox. I remember being pretty funny, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. $7 for Blu. That seems really good. Moving on, we've got another Sidney Poitier title, Lilies of the Field, for $10. Link. I don't know why again, but I love Link. Richard Franklin directed. $10 on Blu. This has been released on 4K in France through Le Chat Quifume, but I don't know that I see this coming out in 4K here. This is still, it's a really good release. Highly suggest Link. The Long Goodbye. This is a classic Robert Altman film, $12.50. I love Elliot Gould. I really think most people should see that if they have not. Continuing on. Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey, brand new release. I love this movie. The way that he portrayed Andy Kaufman is great. $12 with a slip for a new release. It's kind of hard to argue with that if you don't have it yet. That's it on this page, I think. Not too many huge ones. There's some of these other ones that I'm passing over that I like, but a lot of people know about, like Master of the World. Obviously, it's a Vincent Price title. It's got Bronson too. I don't love Bronson, but I love Vincent Price, and I'm sure most people know about those. So, trying to gloss over some of those. Let me see. Another Jess Franco redemption, $10 for Neurosis. I don't think I've seen Neurosis yet. Sadly, I really need to. The Night Stalker and the Night Strangler. Highly recommend both of these. Really great releases. Genuinely, they look good. They are put together very well. They are really stylish and just, they're the exact type of film that I like when I'm looking at films like that. Nightmare Beach is okay. But speaking of this, it's directed by Umberto Lenzi, and I just did an update on my merch, and I have a shirt that is hilarious that I love. It says Live, Laugh, Lenzi. If you're interested in that, link is in the description below. Go take a look. Funny as hell. I am running a sale on my site until the end of the month, and there's information on all my socials there, and I'll put some more info in the description below. Number 17, this is another Hitchcock film. Again, a good one. This is a fairly new release, I believe. If you have not ever seen Nosferatu, they have the best version of this in the US. And I, again, highly recommend it. It's a foundational horror title. It's good. Moving on. Another Hitchcock, The Paradine Case. This is The People Next Door. This is the release of the Indicator title we talked about just a few minutes ago. Again, I don't even think I have that one yet. That's one I definitely need to take a look into. And we talked about animation multiple times. I love the Pink Panther. I love these. I actually have the box set they made with all of the volumes together. Good stuff. I would say if you're into the Pink Panther animation, get one or two of these during each of their sales, and it eventually it's very worth it to get it all together. Let's see what else we got. The Puppet Masters with Mr. Sutherland. Really good movie. I highly suggest that one. It's only $7. Pretty worth it. The Quest with we just talked about Henry Thomas in Cloak and Dagger. This is another young Henry Thomas in The Quest, and it's $9. I don't think I've seen The Quest before, but it's directed by Brian Trenchard Smith. I really need to watch that one. Rawhead Rex, the Steelbook, $8. They just announced a 4K of this, so if you're waiting on or if you want a 4K, keep that in mind. You probably don't want the Steelbook. I personally hate Rawhead Rex, so I say nobody should buy it ever. I'm just kidding. If you're into it, enjoy it by all means. Revenge of the Shogun Women in 3D. I strongly suggest you support their 3D. They do great work with the 3D Film Archive. And yeah, good stuff there. Another Hitchcock, Rich and Strange. This one's $10 again. If you're just trying to catch them all, it's a great way to do it on sale. Let's see. I remember there being something great on this page. Maybe it's the next one. I actually, excuse me, I just got Scavenger Hunt in this sale, so I'm looking forward to that one. Sounded good to me. Which one was I thinking of that I loved? This is a good one. Some Like It Hot in 4K for $15 with a slip. That is an incredible price. Highly suggest that one if you do not have it yet. I love me some Spaceballs. Love me some 4K. $14. It's a great price, and it looks really good in 4K, genuinely. Let's see. Stunt Squad. This is one of the better Raro titles, or Raro. I always laugh because I don't know how to say that. This is a good one. And again, I will say, if you want to collect from that label, always go through Kino. Do not buy direct. They are awful to work with. Completely awful. I thought this sale was 24 pages, but it looks like it's 34. Oh my gosh. This is a long one today. My apologies. The current release of Terror Train is available through Scorpion Releasing. This is probably the cheapest you're going to find it, 11 bucks. Uh, Most people know it because it's Vincent Price, but I wanted to point out if you've never seen it, Theater of Blood is genuinely amazing. Such a great, really well made film. Thirst. This is by Chan Wook Park. This is sort of a modern classic as well. Asian, like I don't really want to say erotic horror, but it's kind of an erotic horror film. It's really well made. I would highly suggest that one. Again, this just came out. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy 4K for 15 bucks. If you're into 4K or have never seen this movie, whatever, this is the way to see it. This is a great, great release. Really, really cheap already. I'm shocked that that's on sale, to be honest. Trilogy of Terror. If you've never seen it, really fun anthology film. It's got Karen Black in it. Really well made. I love that one. Transylvania 65000, classic with Jeff Goldblum. Gotta love that. Another Hitchcock, Under Capricorn. This one's only $9 for Hitchcock. That's pretty damn good. Coming to the end of it, I think I just ordered this one, Village of the Giants. I wanted this to go with the Incredible Shrinking Man that Criterion just put out this year. It's only 10 bucks, and that's a pretty recent release as well. Viva just came out fairly recently. I've heard great things about this. Only $10. Rutger Hauer, Wanted Dead or Alive. If you don't have it, you need this movie. It's pretty damn good. And I think we are coming to an end. Nothing incredible for me on this last page. So I just want to say happy hunting out there. This is a long video. I know I blazed through some of those. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Make sure you're paying attention to when these sales end. Like the Kino sale doesn't end until the middle of April. If you got to wait for payday. Do something, to make sure you keep it in track of what you're spending. Don't overspend, anything like that. As always, I appreciate you coming along for the ride, coming along to watch. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. If you ever need any help, you know where to find me. And all of the information is in the description below. I appreciate you spending your time here because this is a lot of time, and you could have been spending it anywhere else. Yeah, I wanted to say one more time, thank you to everybody recently that's supporting the channel. These are a list of my patrons. They are helping me to sustain this. There are lots of things that to keep a channel going, to have a podcast going like I do now, it costs money literally to run, and these people are helping it go. So I appreciate that. If you're interested in becoming a patron, I do giveaways every month. We have a Discord where I share, if I find an out-of-print title available on sale online somewhere, I will let you know immediately. And you can set up notifications on it and find out exactly where it's at, when it's at, and get it before somebody else does. If you're wanting to be a part of that community, link is in the description below, and highly, recommended community is an odd way to say that, but we talk literally every single day. I'm very active in there. I'm happy to be a part of things, and I'm happy that we've all created our own little community. So speaking of that, from one collector to all of you, I hope you all have a great